Hi everyone, Darren Carnell here. I hope you're all doing well. I just wanted to do a short video. Give me 1 second because I need some coffee. Just wanted to do a short video to thank someone. Actually, to thank a couple of people. One of whom I've already thanked, but it doesn't do any harm in thanking again. But someone new that I want to thank for something that they've done. A while back, and I've mentioned this already, you've probably seen it, I thanked one of my followers on Patreon, one of my patrons, Ben Solis. Forgive that beep, that was my phone waking up thinking I was talking to it. Shut up phone, I'm not talking to you. Anyway, this patron, Ben Solis, got in touch with me and said, I know you mentioned that you wanted some new paintbrushes. I want to buy some brushes for you. I want to help with your work. And he did. And he was incredibly kind. And he bought all of these brushes and this brush stand and some other things. And it's just been so useful. And it helps my everyday work. So Ben, again, and I know you weren't expecting this again, thank you again. Because I still use all this stuff. And it's still massively useful to my day-to-day work life. So thank you for that. So I wanted to thank Ben, but another one of my patrons got in touch because he had seen the brushes that I used and the sizes of the brushes that I used, and he got in touch. His name was Jeremy Lambert, and he asked me if I had any brushes that were, I think it was 100-0. I think that's the size. I can't remember the size. I don't know brush sizes that well. Anyway, he asked me if I had a brush this small, and I looked and I didn't, and I didn't even know they made brushes that small. And he said, well, I want to get you one because I think it'll be useful. And he did, and it turned up, and I meant to do this thank you video like 3 weeks ago or something, and I completely forgot. I was busy, so I'm doing it now. This brush turned up, and it's ridiculously small. Like, I don't even know how you get paint on the end of this thing. I'll bring in the overhead camera to show you the comparison. But I just wanted to say publicly, Jeremy, thank you. It's incredibly generous and kind of you, and it will get used. I will figure out how to use it. I will test it on some things, and assuming I can work with this thing, because it doesn't even look like you can get paint on it. It's so small. How do people use these things? I have no doubt this will make my work a lot better. I will be able to do things in a more controlled way than I already do, and I manage quite well with the sizes of the brushes that I use, but this brush is like 5 times, 10 times smaller. It's tiny, so this will probably help me do loads more detail. So thank you, seriously thank you. Anyway, let me bring in the overhead camera and I can show everyone else the difference in size to this. If I've got this set up right. Okay, that's fine. Let me change the focus. I want to bring the focus up higher so we can see things clearly. Camera 2. Focus. There we go. Alright, where's the focus? So, right up here somewhere. Now, let me reach over and get one of my small brushes that I've been using. So we've got, this is the new one here. Right, this might be the smallest brush that I use at the moment. Let me take the lid off and I will show you. I'll keep my fingers in the frame so you've got a point of reference. So, see the size of, against my fingertips. So it's a small, small, tiny brush. So that's probably the smallest brush that I use. I have a few that are roughly this size, and I just pick up whichever one I think will work the best if I'm doing small detail work. Some of them are small like this and are good for doing small round, if you're painting little circles or little dots. Others are better if you're like painting hairs and you're doing long strokes. So I use different ones, but that's that size. Tiny, tiny. You see it against the end of my finger there. That's that. Now then, let me get this new one out. I actually haven't opened this yet. How do you open it? Might have been useful if I actually took the brush out of the pack first. Right, here we go. So, let me take the lid off there. This is insane. Seriously. Okay, so, old brush there. Let me get the new brush in the same frame. Oh my god, how do you use this? Alright, look at that. Can you see how small that is? It's like a couple of hairs, if that. This one is tiny. That's a tiny, 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 almost not there brush. This thing is practically invisible. I mean, look at the difference. That's insane. So, this brush is one that, let me put it up against the tip of my finger there. Oh my god. That's mad. So this is a brush that I will need to practice with because, oh my goodness, I don't even know how you would get paint on that would, because I imagine it doesn't hold that much paint because there's not that many bristles to hold the paint. So I imagine that it would dry a lot quicker than what I'm used to. So stuff like that will take practice, but if I can figure it out, and I don't doubt that I can, this should make a big difference in the amount of detail that I can get on the things that I paint. So there you go. How mad is that? I thought this one was a tiny little brush, and it is. It's a tiny little brush. But then you compare it to that. Insane. It's actually insane. So I'm going to practice with that one and try it out on a few things that I'm painting. I need to change the angle of the clamp on this light. I push the light out the way and it just slowly swings itself back in front of me. I will practice with that and I will get used to using it. Hang on, let me look over the end of my glasses so I can see what I'm doing, because I don't want to damage it. Because also this brush, this new one, the tiny one, is a lot more expensive than the normal brushes that I've been using for the last 11 years. Normally I would buy roughly the sizes that I thought would be useful, but I just bought the cheapest brushes I could. And it's always worked for me. But I knew you could get more expensive brushes, I just never tried them. And this is the first one. And I suspect this might be the start of me buying more expensive brushes, because all of the ones that I've got, I will probably be able to use for most of my work. And as anyone who follows me knows, those brushes have done everything that I've ever painted. So anything that you've seen that has been okay, I've done with those brushes. So there's no problem using those. But if I try a more expensive brush and go, oh, that's actually way better, then I might get used to doing that. And what I might do is use those brushes for most of them and bring in an expensive brush or two for certain things, if they have better quality or control, or just the way the bristles work. So I'm going to use this tiny brush, and then what I may do, because there are several sizes between my existing smallest brush, which for me was tiny, which just looks huge compared to this one, but there are several sizes between my old smallest one and this new microscopic one. So I may end up buying some brushes in between the sizes. So I've got my big brushes that go down to my existing one, and then a few of the smaller ones down to this tiny one. And I think it will improve my work a lot. I think I'll be able to get more detail. I think I will have more control over if I'm painting detail on skin or hair or stubble or a beard or eyebrows or eyes or anything like that. Something like that will probably help immeasurably once I've figured out how to use it. Because I'll have to get used to how quick paint dries with it, and how much paint you can get on it and how thin the paint needs to be, because I know what I'm doing with my own brushes, but this is new. But that is what I wanted to come on to say today. Thank you, Jeremy. Meant to do this ages ago, sorry I forgot. And I will, well, everyone will see the work that I do, because once I start using that, people will see it on my videos. So we'll see if I can figure it out. So thank you again. Thank you. And that's it. I just wanted to come on to say thank you to Jeremy and again to Ben for the original brushes. And that's it. I'm going back to work now. I'm painting a lot of different things at the same time. I'm making good progress through everything, so I'm going to get on with it. Have a good day, everyone. Look after yourselves, look after everybody else, be nice to people, and I'll see you soon. Right, take care. Have a good day.